How's it going, guys? So in today's tutorial, we are going to be making this animation right here, and it also loops seamlessly. So the first thing we are going to be doing is taking our square and distributing some points on it. Then we're going to quickly animate it with a noise texture, and I'm going to show you a really quick trick with the repeat zone to give the particles a little bit of this fluid look. Then I'm going to show you how to get particles to stay put to a surface. So it kind of looks like they're magnetized to whatever model you want those particles to lock onto. Then I'm going to show you how to access the UVs from the primitive models that you get from geometry nodes. So if you've never done that, this is super beneficial stuff to know. We're going to randomize some lighting on the points, add some lighting on the whole scene, and we'll be done. If you want to grab the project file for the final animation, that is available right now on Patreon, as well as a bunch of new exclusive tutorials on there. Last month and this month, I kind of went nuts with a really cool new style I've been playing around with, and I've created a lot of tutorials with that idea, along with some of the videos here on YouTube. But yeah, a lot of new stuff on Patreon that I'm really proud of. So if you want to check that out, that is linked in the description, and you get a discount if you subscribe annually. With that being said, let's learn how to make this animation. All right, we are going to be in Blender 5.0. And we're going to go ahead, hit Shift A, and just get any piece of geometry. I'm going to use a plane. We're going to head right into geometry nodes, and we're going to click a new scene. Again, just go ahead and click the geometry nodes workspace right up there. I'm going to delete the input, and we're going to get a cube. We're going to plug it right into the output, and I'm going to click and drag and give it a scale of 5 on all of these guys here. And then now we're going to get a distribute points on faces node right there. And then leave the density at 10, it's fine. And then right now the points are really big, and we're gonna be rendering this in cycles. So if I go up here to the cycles view, I hit the drop down right next to it, and I just click on scene world, scene lights. We could see we have these spheres. They're pretty big. They're actually bigger than I would want them to be. So what we'll do is we'll hit Shift A and get a set point radius node, and that is going to change the radius of all of them at the same value. Now, if we get a random value node, we'll notice at the minimum of 0 and a maximum of 1. I'm going to give my maximum at 0.03, and then we'll plug that into radius, and now some of them are smaller than others. And in this case, I don't want to be a minimum of 0. That means some of them are scaled all the way to 0, so we're losing a view of some of them. So I'm going to go 0.005, and now we have a nice look, a nice set of nice looking points, and then we can bring up the density a little bit so we can see it. Now what I'm going to do is move them around a little bit. So we need a set position node. We're going to get a noise texture, and then we're going to use the color. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click and then let go, and I'm going to get a vector math scale node. For me, it's right at the top, but if you just type in scale and see vector math right there, that is going to plug right into the offset. Click on normalize, and the scale is a strength. So 0 would be no displacement at all, and you can change it from there. I'm going to bring the scale down pretty far till we can start to see kind of a discernible pattern. That is what makes it look really cool. So we can switch on the noise from 3D to 4D, and this is animatable. You can bring up that scale. Now it's more dramatic. Though, let me show you a really cool trick to make the particles kind of look like they're in the fluid motion. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hold down Control and slice all of my connections, and we're gonna get a repeat zone right here. And the set point radius, just plug that into geometry, plug geometry into the output geometry, plug the position, set position right in the middle, and then plug the scale right back into offset. Nothing's going to change until we start bringing up this repeat zone. We'll do in iterations of 3. And then let's see, give a scale of 1. As we play with that scale, you'll start to see something really cool. But notice lower scales are going to look better. Notice how if we bring iterations of 1, that's like the normal look. But as we bring up those iterations, notice how it starts to behave in a much more interesting way. And it looks really cool, especially the more points you use, the cooler that this is going to look. You can even bring like iterations of 4. Notice how that kind of looks like a water splash. So you can have a lot of fun with this really cool trick. I do want to credit Mantisa here on YouTube. He's the first guy I saw this from, so I do want to credit him. I don't know if he's the originator of this idea, but I certainly got it from him. So he's awesome. I will link him in the description. But this is really cool. Now, how do we get particles to lock onto the side of a model so it just maps to that shape? We need to get another set position node. And to get this to, get particles to map to any shape we want, it's actually incredibly easy. I'm going to look up nearest surface, so sample nearest surface, and I want to get a position node. So this is all you're going to need. So go from float to vector, plug position into value. So that's all you need right here. Sample nearest curve, set to vector, and a position plugged into value. And then all you need to do is grab whatever object you want the particles to latch onto. So in this case, it's just the original cube. So get mesh here, and then plug value into position, and now it's going to work. Now you might see this and go, oh, this is so cool. I'm going to get these particles to animate on a face and a hand and text and all of that. I will caution you that this is a very imperfect way to do things. And what I mean is geometry is very visible on this effect. So if I, for example, because what's happening is they are, the particles are latching onto the nearest thing, that being a face, an edge, or a point. I think that's correct. But you'll notice, see how the side here is super visible? See those? Because until it gets close enough to this edge here, they're just sort of moving weird around the face, which is exactly what I want. I think that looks cool. But let me give you an example. If I go ahead, so I'll get a icosphere and I'll plug it right into value. Geometry is very visible, like I mentioned. So if I say get this icosphere and I give it a radius of 2, notice how you can see that there's those faces because they're latching on to whatever's closest, making that geometry really visible. So you might then go, well, then I'll just add a bunch of subdivision to just sort of make it smoother. It won't really help the movement, and 2, the more faces, it really bogs down your computer. So best case is use very simple, very primitive shapes, like using it just like on a flat plane if you want particles to just be flat on an object, or like a very simple icosphere or a cube. That's how this is going to look the best. Unfortunately, I don't know of a better way to do this to where you can have particles mapping and moving around an object. I think this is the best we have right now. Please put in the comments if you know a better way. This is what I have. So now that we have this, let's go ahead and loop the animation and we can move on to making this look really cool. So what I'm gonna do is I'm on the noise texture, give it a W value of 0, and then be sure in your preferences, in the animation tab, your default interpolation is linear. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna duplicate the noise texture. Remember, W value of 0. I'm gonna get a mix color, and then I'm gonna plug color to A and B, make sure that's the same. And then I'm gonna go ahead, I'm just gonna go with 250 frames. I'm gonna hit I on the W, I on the factor on these 2 top, go to the very end, and I'm gonna give a W value of 1. I'm gonna hit I keyframe, slide this over, hit I. On this bottom one now, we're at frame 250, hit I, go back to frame 0, and type in -1. And it looks like we're at 24 frames a second. So this is the speed that this is going to move. And then I can bring up my scale and give it a little bit more life if we want. But let's see, does this loop? Kinda, it's weird. The noise texture is weird sometimes. But this is the animation. Now, if you want to move the texture around, say we don't like this, we can go ahead and get a position node and a vector math node, and then plug those into each, and then you can kind of move this texture around. It does not break the loop. So we still get a looping animation, but now you get to go ahead and say, hey, like I don't like the particular seed that my animation is giving me. I want to use a different one. So now we have that. All right, let's go ahead and add materials like this and finish it off. We need 2 separate attributes. So let's go ahead and get a join geometry. And then I'm going to bring him up a little bit so there's some space. this cube, bring him all the way to the join geometry so we can get the cube back. I'm gonna get a transform geometry so we can scale it down a little bit. So I'm gonna do, I think my exact, we need to go to cycles here. I think my exact scale was 0.997. No, they're still running into it. So let's see, 0.996, 0.995. Looks like 0.99 has the cube at the very bottom of my points, which is what I want. That's the settings for me. Could look different for you. Okay, so let's get the UV and let's get the points to have random emission. So the way we can do that is we need to get a store named attribute on this line and this line, where it says set position and all that. This line here represents the points. This line here represents the cube. So what I want to do first is get that UV. So the way you get all the geometry nodes primitives come with this UV map, but it's not obvious how to use it. So the way you use it is you go from float to 2D vector, because we're talking about flat unwrapping mesh. And then we need face corner. That's going to give us. And then I'm just going to call it U. If you call it, if you name it UV, it doesn't work. At least what I've found, it doesn't work. And then get the UV map, plug it right into the value. You can also call it, I don't know, John. Like it's just a name. Just don't call it UV. We now have this. Last thing I want to do is get a random value. I want to have a random value for every one of these points. So it's already ready to go. I'm just going to type in R for random, search up a random value node, and plug it right into value. So we'll be able to access this attribute when we go into the shading. So let's add 2 materials. We're going to get 2 set material nodes. Right over here in the material settings, we're going to click new. I'm going to call it part for particle. And we're going to go ahead and call this one con for concrete. So grab the concrete one up here and the particle one here. For materials, I suggest going to ambientcg.com, and go to the categories and go to concrete. And literally any of these will do. They all are going to look fantastic. I think I used this one here with the crack because I really wanted some cracks, and download 4K PNG. And then we're going to hop into Blender and apply this texture. So let's go into shading. Make sure we're in cycles. I'm gonna hit the drop down, do scene world, scene lights, because we don't have any lights yet. So first off, here in the material section, I'm gonna go ahead right here. You can notice, let's click on the concrete material. If you have the Node Wrangler enabled, go ahead and enable it. It's called Node Wrangler, comes to Blender by default. I'm gonna hit Control-Shift-T. I'm gonna open my concrete material and I'm gonna hold down Control and grab the color, grab the normal, and grab the roughness. I'm gonna hit Enter, and it's not going to work. Go ahead, get an attribute node, and then I called mine U, you called yours whatever you want, and replace the texture coordinate with this new one, and you'll see, boom, we have our texture. I'm gonna click and drag and tile it 10 times. Now what I wanna do is bevel this cube, but I wanna bevel it easiest way possible without messing up geometry nodes and dealing with a bunch of crap. And the best way to do it is to get a bump node, put it right before the normal map, and make sure the normal is plugged into the normal so he kind of goes right through it. We're going to get a bevel node. And I'm going to give my samples of 10, and we're going to plug it right into the height. Now, your computer probably froze. Sometimes it's going to say like loading render kernels, loading render kernels. It also is only going to work in cycles. So if you're using Eevee, just don't even worry about this step. But we now have some beveling that we can do. And once we have our lighting figured out, it'll be more obvious. Right now, you can't even tell it. Okay, right back into the material sections. I'm going to go here to the particle. And I'm going to go ahead, get the attribute that I named R. I'm going to the emission, give it a strength of 5. Make it red. That's kind of orange. And plug factor into color. I'm going to go ahead and get a color ramp, and then I'm gonna go here to constant on the interpolation so that we just get a few. And then again, we'll bring that color back like this. Okay, so now a few of them are gonna be red. Very cool. This isn't gonna look cool until we start lighting it. So let's go ahead, add lighting, and we're gonna be done for the day. So I'm gonna hit the tilde key, go to the front. I'm gonna get a camera. I'm gonna hit 0 and then G and middle click, bring it out. And then I'm just going to point mine here. I'm hitting R and middle click. So this is the composition that I kind of want to play with. So now we have some randomness. It looks really great. The animation's gonna look cool. What I want to do now is get some lighting. So we're gonna go ahead and get one light here, get an area light, and I'm gonna bring it, I'm gonna hit G and bring it up. I kind of want to hit it at an angle so we have some soft lighting kind of cascading down. So I'm just hitting G and R to rotate it and move it around. And then I'm going to bring up my strength. So there we go. I want to point it right at this corner. Here in the world brightness, I'm just going to bring it down to black. And then the thing that I think is cool is the fact that it creates these harsh shadows on the particles. It really shows the particles are on top of the mesh, and it looks really cool. And that is my goal here. You can bring your spread down a little bit too if you want, and then you can bring your power down. And then I want a little bit of light over here. So I'm going to go and get a point light, hit G, and just move him so he's hitting the corner down there. I think it creates a really cool effect on this whole scene. And you can make it another color if you want to. And then I'm gonna take my area light, I'm gonna hit R and kind of move it around until maybe something cool happens. I think this is good enough. Let me render out a frame to see how it looks. This also does render pretty fast if you don't use any volume. I'm not gonna be using any volume. Okay, so this is the full animation. If you want to have some exaggerated motion blur, you can actually go down to the motion blur settings and give it like a shutter of like 1.5. If you do that, you'll get these really cool like moments where it looks like the particles are kind of dashing. Makes it very exaggerated. Like here, you can really kind of see that happening. I think it's really cool and I'm going to keep it. But we're done. We're totally done with this animation. It looks cool. It's fun. It's pretty easy. And it shows you how to do a lot of these different tricks. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you learned something from this. Again, if you want to check out some more exclusive tutorials, those are on my Patreon. You can get a discount if you subscribe annually. But hope you enjoyed this one. I think this one's really cool. And I'll see you guys in the next one.